brand new Netflix film, which was also shown at film festivals earlier this year. It made its debut on Netflix Wednesday, November 16th. The film stars Florence Pugh, Keila Lord Cassidy, Tom Burke, and Kieran Hines and Toby Jones. And tells a story about Florence Pugh, who's a British nurse who is brought in for watch over 14 days over a woman in Ireland who is told that she has not eaten a single thing of food for 4 months. And as Florence Pugh tries to detect, is there something up going with this? Are people lying to themselves that she is a saint, or is she truly surviving without eating for 4 months? That is up to Florence Pugh's nurse to decide. The film is in 1 hour and 48 minutes and is rated R. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here on Max Talks Movies. We're talking about The Wonder on Netflix. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show. Tons of more videos are coming out so soon on the channel. I'll let you know at the end of this review what to look out for. But I'm trying to get to 120 subscribers. Let's get there. Click that subscribe button. Also, please comment down below on the thoughts on this film. First of all, if you've seen it, tell me, did you like it? Did you not like it? Should this be an Oscar kind of push film, especially for Florence Pugh? And if you have not seen it, tell me, are you waiting for the weekend to check out The Wonder? I want to know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. So this is one of the rare Wednesday releases for Netflix. This was in select theaters for a couple of weeks, and then it finally hit Netflix yesterday. Got a chance to watch it, and obviously I was excited because Florence Pugh, who it's just, if you know me personally, know how much I'm a big fan of this actress. Already the second film I've seen her in this year with Don't Worry, Darling, and she's just, for me, one of the best actors working today. And it's a kind of an Oscar, I guess, push film. No one's really talking about it in that reason. But this is the director of A Fantastic Woman, which won a lot of Oscar films, a lot of Oscar awards. So all these things going into it, that's why I watched the film. I didn't know anything plot-wise heading in. So let's get into this film. There are two things that I really enjoyed about the film. First are the performances, and second is that it does make you think a lot. I want to start with that point. This film really makes you think and has a lot of messaging about storytelling, stories, how people can lie to themselves for truth, and also science versus religion. There's so many different thematic themes and elements that are in this movie that I just was not expecting heading in. This is just not a straightforward nurse trying to tend for a 11-year-old girl. It is a lot deeper than that. Involving religion versus science, and also over people who are educated and people who unfortunately are not educated. A lot of different dynamics are going on. Also, how people suffer grief and loss. There's so many thematic elements and themes in this movie. It really made me think afterwards. And while I knew the reasoning on everything that happened, the ending wasn't like a huge surprise or anything. It does kind of make you think on not just the way people handle themselves back in this film, which I think was like the late 1800s, but maybe the way this kind of affects people to this day, about all these different themes. So I really respect it. It was definitely one of the more different movie experiences I've had all year, where I was expecting something, and then the first minute of the movie is breaking the fourth wall. They kind of break the fourth wall like 2 or 3 times, and it kind of takes me aback for this type of movie. You'll understand why when you watch the film. But it's definitely a different movie experience than I was expecting, which I liked most of the time. I do have some negatives about that experience towards the end of this video. And then let's get into the cast. This is a really fantastic lead ensemble cast here. Obviously, Toby Jones and Kieran Hines, who are great character actors for the last 20 years and plus. They play their roles to perfection as usual, but the film comes down to Florence Pugh's Liv Wright and Keila Lord Cassidy's Anna O'Donnell. That's what this movie comes down to, and they're both excellent. I am so now excited for the career path moving forward for Cassidy's as an actress moving forward. She is terrific in the movie and clearly holds her own with Florence Pugh, which is a lot to ask for a child actor to do, and she does a fantastic job. Bringing obviously as a kid who's dying, you feel really sad for this character. There's an uplifting thing with this character. There's a victim thing to this character. Is the character lying? Is she just drowned in religion? All these different things. And Cassidy conveys that really beautifully in the movie. She's great chemistry with her parents. That's in the film. Maggie Ryan, played by Ruth Bradley. They have a great dynamic, and there's a lot of interesting things with Anna's mother. But it really does get down to Anna kind of opening up to Florence Pugh's Liv, who of course is fantastic in the film. Florence Pugh, it's a definitely different type of Florence Pugh. She's kind of British. She's an English nurse. And she's just terrific in the film. She's in every single scene in this film. And while, yes, a lot of this movie does come down to Anna's character, the whole movie rests on the shoulders of this nurse, who at times is kind of the audience. We're kind of, well, Lib is definitely skeptical of what's going on here in this Irish town. We're obviously also skeptical as the audience, and she plays both as her own character, but also the audience is in on this story. And Florence Pugh is just terrific in the film. It's not one of her like best performances. She's been so good. Again, a really high bar in my opinion for her as an actress. But she was absolutely terrific in this film, and she's definitely becoming the true leading lady in Hollywood right now. And it's great to see her just do a different range of films. She can be in the big Marvel blockbusters, and then she can also do these really quiet period pieces. Obviously, it's her second period piece after doing getting nominated for Little Women. Again, very terrific in this film, and you do feel bad for her character. Once things get revealed about why she is also going through grief, you understand her character a lot more. Then Tom Burke as well is very solid as Will. He's a reporter who's trying to report on the story, and he's just as skeptical as Lib, and they kind of try to team up to figure out what's truly going on in this situation. So the performances and the thematic elements I just really respected. And that's one thing I want to say. I really respect this movie. It is a different type of movie experience that I could feel would not be for most audiences. But I respected the movie. It was a gorgeous movie. The production designs really good. Also, the score was really good and fits the movie perfectly by Matthew Herbert. Really love the score as well. But let's move into some of my negatives. And as I said, the movie doesn't really, it feels like it's building to a huge reveal or a huge ending, and it doesn't really happen. The ending that happens is kind of something that I was kind of predicting would happen. Now, it doesn't mean it's a bad ending. It's the right ending for this movie. The movie has setup, and it's a lot of setup for a big thing to happen, and then it kind of just flutters out, which I wasn't a huge fan of. There's also a character named Kitty, who's played by Nima Algar, who I know from Raised by Wolves. She's good in the movie, but her character at times just feels kind of worthless for big portions of the movie. And overall, this is not the first hour of this movie is very slow. I think the first act is way too slow, trying to get things into motion. And the big thing is that while there's a lot of thematic elements here that I really respected and I liked, the breaking the fourth wall for me was a bit too much. And I do believe the movie feels a bit too preachy. It has a lot of elements. It's kind of a life lessons it's trying to explain to the audience as an author of storytelling. And I completely understand that, but I don't think the director, Sebastian Leo, trusts his script and the main story enough to tell these themes. He kind of force feeds you with breaking the fourth wall by one character the whole movie, and you're like, I get it, I get what's going on. At times it just goes a bit too far, and I think he treats his audience a bit dumb in this movie. He treats his audience like they're not going to understand what he's trying to get out of this movie. I think the main story told his themes the way it should be, but it tries to add a bit too many other things that feel forced and feel preachy. When there's the fourth wall breaking in this movie, it just pulls me right out of the movie. So overall, I respect this movie a lot. It has a lot of themes that made me think for a while afterwards. And these are really fantastic performances by Florence Pugh and Keila Lord-Cassidy. But for me, it gets at times a bit too preachy. The breaking the fourth wall really pulls me out of the movie. And for me, the ending wasn't as grand as I thought it could have been. But overall, I'm going to give The Wonder a 3.5 out of 5, a 68% for The Wonder on Netflix. That's my thoughts on this film. My upcoming videos here on the channel, got a lot coming up, including reviews of Spirited, Disenchanted, The Menu, as well as a spoiler review of the spoiler review of the season finale of Andor on Wednesday, a box office breakdown show on Monday. So tons of reviews are coming out soon. I'll leave a review up top for Florence Pugh's other movie of the year, which is Don't Worry, Darling. I'll see you guys soon.